Welcome back to the course. It is time for section number 5, Gathering User Data. And in this first video of this section, we are going to fetch the current user. Okay, let us just jump right into Xcode again and see how to do that. First of all, let's stop this because I have forgotten about that. And if you just navigate, let's just close all of this to our profile. And there you just search for user profile data source controller. And inside here, you will have, let us just scroll down, navigate to the view did load. So what does this user profile data source controller do? Well, it is basically a UI collection view controller, and it is an updated and an upgraded UI collection view controller, and it is from the LBTA components. Go ahead and take a look at LBTA components on GitHub and how it works if you are really interested. Basically, it is a very easy to use UI collection view controller helper. And in the view did load, we are setting these notification observers. Here you have handle user share the post, and I have talked about that in the previous video. So basically we are handling when a user shared a post. Okay, but we will talk about this in the next video. For now, let us just scroll down here and you will see that we have a fetch current user, and we are getting back a current user, and from that current user we set the username to the navigation items title, so the top bottom, and then we reload our post. We will talk about that in the next video. So what is this fetch current user? So let's jump to definition. Well, it is right down here. And we will use the fetch current user Firebase magic convenience method. So fm, and let us just fetch current user. Okay, so here we go. First of all, we need to get the current user UID, and that is a convenience method from Firebase magic, and it returns an optional, so we need to guard the let against it. So here we have our UID. Then we present our HUD with fetching user, pretty simple. Then we use this fetch user Firebase magic function that I will go in just a minute into, and with our UID that we have just fetched, and we get back a user that is optional and an error. We handle the error, of course, and we handle the user if it is nil. Basically, we are dismissing and setting our alerts appropriately. If everything went okay and we do have a user, then we print out successfully fetch user and we print out the user's username. Then we dismiss the HUD, of course, and we set the user profile data source as user as this fetched user, and we reload our collection view. Now, what is this user profile data source? Well, it is basically the data source of our UI collection view controller, and we are using this user property to populate the header. So let us just jump right into it. Well, it is down here, the next file. As you can see, we have a current user typed user, and we are using it in our header item. Now, we have this header data source cell. As you can see here, we populate our header classes with the user profile header data source cell. It's kind of a strange approach, but if you really want to dig deeper into LBTA components, go ahead and take a look at their GitHub repository. So we are basically passing in this user as to our header data source cell. Now, once this cell is set, and let me just scroll down, and there, here it is. Let me just go, and here it is. The data source item is set. We guardlet unwrap our user from the data source item as a current user. Of course, we need to know which type of data we pass into these cells, and we get back our users. If we don't get back anything, we of course return. And we have all of the profile image URLs, the user's name, the post count, and so on. And let me just go to our model so you may see what the current user has. It has its UID, of course, name, username, profile image URL, email, followers count, following count, and post count. Now, let's just go back here, and one last thing, we are loading this image, the profile image views image, from the user's profile image URL with a convenience method, again from LBTA components. Now, you might have guessed, let's just go back here and see that we have a gap here. And what does that really means is all of these are actually stored in the database, and you already saw it. But how about all these three? Well, let us just dive into the code of fetch current user. So let's go back here, and here it is, fetch user. So let's just jump to definition and see what is actually doing. So we have a UID, and we try to observe a single event where we try to fetch all of the data from the database users with the child of our UID. And let me just show you that in Chrome. So here we have our users reference, and this is the child UID. Okay, so we are grabbing our email name, profile image URL, and username, but that is not enough. So if we do get back everything okay, so we make sure that Firebase Magic has been started and we grab our dictionary from the snapshot value, then we need to cast this dictionary because this is not a mutable dictionary. We cannot add things to it. We cast it to a mutable dictionary, and then we have this get user stats. Now this gets back the following, the followers, and the post count, and it's pretty great. Go ahead and take a look at this function for your own. We don't have time for this, but it is pretty awesome because it returns a user stats, and if everything went okay, then we just update the mutable dictionary. That is why it needs to be a mutable dictionary. We update it with these user stats that we have just gotten. So the followers, the following, and the post count. Okay, next up, we create a user with the current user model with a UID and our dictionary. Finally, we complete with a user and an error of nil. So we get back that user, and then we can populate the cell, and that is it. So let us just build and run and see all of that in action. So for now, I believe we have, I don't know, I believe we have a dev2, but we will see. Okay, so let's hide everything here and fetching user. Here it is, dev2 is the username, here is my name, here is my profile picture, 2 posts, 0 followers and 0 following. We will be populating all of these once we do have following and followers. And this learn to code, this bio is just standard text. You can use this template later on to populate the standard code, standard text with each user's bio. Okay, and that is it for populating and fetching the user profile. Okay.